Hi folks, Steven here. So this is going to be another recap of a Pokemon Go Community Day. Yesterday was Sandshrew Pokemon Go Community Day. And so we're going to be going over that. As usual, I have a nice little presentation to go over. We'll also be going over a little bit of other stuff that has been going on recently. So first off, why don't I go straight in and just go ahead and boot up the presentation. Alright, so we always like to start off with the weather, since this is a game you're ostensibly supposed to play outdoors. So let's see, last month I was actually in Milwaukee because Community Day was the same weekend as Anime Milwaukee, which I'm still processing my stuff from there. But I do have a number of interviews up. So the weather is actually, for last month, is from there. Let's see, so February 12th, the weather in Milwaukee, high was 21 under a normal of 33. Low was 11, normal is 19. Average wind speed, no idea. Unfortunately, the National Weather Service, a few months ago, they reorganized their website, and if I don't get the wind data within a relatively quick period of time, I usually don't have access to it, at least not that I know of. So that's kind of a problem. But as far as the weather yesterday, March 13th, 2022, here in Madison, high was 49, actually. I wish I had known. On Saturday, the day before, it had a high of like 21, which was the low for Sunday. So this is one of those ones where it kind of warmed up as the day went on after being very cold the day before. So that happened. If I had actually known it was going to get that warm, I might have planned a little bit differently, but in any case, the high yesterday was 49. It was about the same today. Low was 21 yesterday. Normal low for that point in March is 24. So actually we're above the normal high and below the normal low. Average wind speed 6.9 miles per hour. Not super low, but not super high either in terms of wind speed. Like I said, all this is from the National Weather Service. So I try to do something a little different each community day. So this time I went to... Well, actually, I just realized Sorry about that, folks. We do have a little bit to go over before I get to the actual location I went. Sorry about that. In any case, yes, so Community Day Sandshrew, we have a bunch of bonuses. It looks like the big one is Hatch Distance, which I should have made better use of. Not really, to be honest, my favorite bonus. I always prefer EXP because I'm always working towards the next level. Also, Season of Alola, which ties into the Community Day itself. Seasonal Pokemon from eggs and in the wild and community and raids and up to 2 free raid passes per day. Instance duration is 90 minutes. It's a visual. I think it's 30. And effectiveness while walking. So that's what we got there. But where did I actually go? Well, still not up to that yet. I swear I reviewed this PowerPoint before I did this, but not as well as I thought. In any case, so Gritty and Glacial is the name of this one. I'm not sure, other than, 2 G's there, I'm not sure if sometimes they make a literary reference, sometimes they make a historical reference. This one I'm not too sure if it's really anything other than just having 2 words with G's. But you can see this is the usual pass you have to buy for 99 cents. Would like to know what these are translated to in other languages. Like there was one that was The Great Ghastly, literature reference there, obviously. I'm curious if they changed that for overseas. Let's see here. And here's what the shop looked like. Now, one interesting thing, they have the daily free box, they have the Ultra Ball, they have, usual stuff. They also have a Battle Pass, which you can get for free. Now, it does take up space in your inventory, but apparently you could just keep getting those, which is kind of weird. I did pick up one, so ostensibly I'll use that at some point. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, so this is the place I actually went to. No, I'm not slacking off, I swear. So this is the Point Cinema. This is a multiplex not too far from where I live here on the west side of Madison. The neighborhood around it is actually mostly businesses and a couple apartment complexes that are not too far away. But this is a multiplex. It's run by a company called Marcus Cinemas, or Marcus Theaters, I should say. but they are a regional chain. Okay, primarily in the Great Lakes and Midwest, with a few outlying locations. They have 2 locations here in Dane County, one here on the west side of Madison and one up in Sun Prairie on the east side of the county. As you can see, their facade here, obviously it looks better at night when it's all lit up, but you can see here they have a nice retro-styled opening there. I've been there many times for many things. I think the first time might have actually been for Pokemon Heroes when that was doing a limited showing in Madison. I came all the way up here to see it a second time, actually. So I think that was my first time there, but I've been there many times before. Actually, I think my first time might have been way back in the 90s to see Trekkies, the documentary. It was one of these locations, I think. There are 4 full-size multiplexes in Dane County where Madison is. And this is one of them, of course. Alright, but I swear I was doing something Pokemon related. Yes, so this weekend was a re-show of Detective Pikachu. It was a series of kids' movies they're showing on a couple times on the weekends through March through early April or whatever it is. So you can kind of see that I picked up a ticket for that. It was relatively cheap there. So yes, it does. Unfortunately, it just says Detective there. You think with movie names, they seem like they're always either really short or fairly long or stuff. But you think they could have fit. It looks like they could fit the word Pikachu in there, but oh well. But yes, I did decide that it would be a good day to go ahead and see that since that was on. So we did do that. But on to the actual stuff. I did try to complete a fair bit of the research tasks for Community Day before the movie. So here you can see stuff from Professor Willow. We have our first set of tasks on the right. And then on the left it says, let's see, Snowy Mountains, which I always found kind of odd because there isn't a lot of, since Alola is based on Hawaii, there isn't a lot of places where there is snow, even, I don't know, I think there is some way up in the mountains, but it's pretty darn rare, so it's kind of interesting they went with that. On the right you can see the first set of tasks, which is to power up some Pokemon, catch some Sandshrew, and make some nice throws. Now, of course, this was a dual Community Day. It wasn't just the Alolan variant, it was the regular variant. So you got to see both of those today. And in fact, yes, we're doing a 4-way comparison here. You know, we usually try and do the regular versus shiny comparison, but since there are 2 different, the regular Sandshrew and the Alolan one, figured we might as well do 4 of them right here. So at the top, of course, is the regular Sandshrew and its shiny, and the bottom is the Alolan Sandshrew and its shiny. I don't know, kind of interesting there. A little green on the normal one, and then more of a blue belly on the Alolan shiny. So the main difference between the 2, besides their obvious typing, but just visually and the color, is the the ears are a fair bit different there. And I think is the pattern. Let's see, their heads are, well, I'm not sure exactly. I think the pattern of the little bricks that make up their skin are a little bit different as well, it seems. So overall, not bad. Certainly something you notice. It did take me a long time to find that Alolan Sandshrew one there, shiny one there. So, but I did manage it. Alright, so even before the movie starts, I wanted to get a good chunk done, and I got into the second set of tasks, which you can see here. So, what's interesting, traditional competition in Alolan festivals where trainers slide Alolan Sandshrew across the ice as far as possible. So basically, there's curling in the Pokemon world. Okay, it's not quite the same thing as what they're describing there. It's either that or shuffleboard. But the fact that it's across ice reminds me of curling, which is not something I usually associate with Hawaii. But in any case, on the right-hand side, so we have to catch more Sandshrew, we have to transfer some Pokemon, and we have to evolve 3 Sandshrew. Keep that one in mind. Alright, well, as far as evolving some Sandshrew, I didn't have an Alolan Sandslash in my stuff yet. So I picked one of my better ones here to evolve there. And I believe this time around you get a special fast move rather than a fast charge or a charge move. Because I think all my Alolan Sandslash had Shadow Claw, and I forget the other ones. Let's see. Yes, they have Metal Claw for the other Sandshrew. Although I think it might actually be Night Slash is the one. They may have paired it up there. I forget. But in any case, you can see I had a fairly decent Sandshrew. I did already have a regular Sandslash, but like I said, you get the special move there. So, good stuff. Alright, so it was about time to see the movie, and you can see what I bought for food there. So yeah, I've got a bottled water, I've got a grilled chicken sandwich with fries, and let's see, I got a thing of fruit snacks, which I guess, I tried to be kinda, maybe, sorta. This is about as healthy as you can do with movie theater food, I guess. If I didn't have the fries, I guess it wouldn't be too bad with the grilled chicken sandwich, but yeah. I'll talk more about the movie experience when we get a little bit later, but yeah, we did watch the movie. Had a pretty good crowd, which I'll say more about later. But let's go back to the thing here. So step 3, I've completed these more or less after the movie. So you got to make 3 great curveball throws, just like usual. And you have to evolve yet another Sandshrew. I don't remember. We usually do, obviously they usually do 3-stage evolutions normally with this, but in this particular case they did just 2, and I'm not sure exactly what happened here, because usually, I'm trying to think if with other ones, I think they've usually had a different one, but it says, yes, try and evolve Sandshrew Sandslash for yourself. Well, I already did. It might have been better if they had done it the other way around, with 1 on the second round and 3 on the third, if they had to do it this way. I don't know, but it seems kind of out of place, and I have to double check and see what else they do. But transfer some Pokemon, and then you get the reward scene down at the bottom. That wasn't too difficult, actually, although it did, like I said, the hardest part was actually getting the first, the shiny Alola and Sandshrew. That took me a while to do. Let's see. Differences and similarities. Yeah, I really did like, though, having this split one. And then you can see the final rewards there. Alright, overall thoughts. Let's see. Dual community days are fun. So, yeah, I did like the idea that we had parallel ones there. We had having the regular and the Alola. I assume they have a few more of those planned during the Alola season, although we'll probably also get one of the starters as a community day if they haven't already announced that. As far as Detective Pikachu the movie, I did enjoy watching it. I did actually see, this is the second re-show I've seen of it since its original release in 2019. I didn't see one last summer. That one, there were only 3 of us in the theater. There was me, and then there was a mother and her son who were there. This was last summer, so they didn't have the pediatric vaccines for anyone below the age of 12, which was a problem. This time there was a pretty decent crowd. Now, when I first got there were a couple of movie theater employees who were using their perks, I guess, to see the movie there, but then there were a number of other folks. There were some folks my age, some parents with kids and stuff. I think we had about 15 to 20 folks there, which is not bad for a re-show of a 3-year-old movie. So still enjoyed it, still teared up at various places, like when they show Rhyme City for the first time and at the ending and stuff like that, so still got to me. It's still not my favorite Pokemon movie. That's probably going to be Pokemon 2000 for all of time, but it's definitely still, if I were ranking it with the animated ones, be in the top third. But going back to the tasks, yeah, that's, not sure what happened there, why they had to do the evolution there in 2 different steps. Tell you that after you've already done 3 evolutions, you got to do an evolution, okay. And I did want to make a note about, we still don't know much about the next Pokemon movie. I'm hoping that was just being delayed because it has something in it from Scarlet and Violet, and they had to wait till the games were announced before they could say anything about it there. But it's been a couple weeks and we still haven't heard too much, so that's perhaps a bit odd. All right. So, not yesterday, actually, I wanted to just briefly mention that on Saturday, Anne from Big Podcast and I did a discussion of the music of Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii. That went pretty well, actually. You can take a look at that if you haven't done so already. It should have popped up in your feed there, but I just wanted to briefly mention that. Alright, and then here's something that happened a couple weeks ago in the world of Pokemon music. Catch Me If You Can. So, if those of you who don't remember, this is a song from the soundtrack to Pokemon the first movie. It actually does appear in the movie in the Pikachu's Vacation short. And this is kind of an interesting one for kind of a couple of reasons. First off, this actually, if you'd gone on iTunes not long after the store opened, so like 2002, 2003, you would have actually been able to find this song on there by Angela Villa. And it was, weirdly, it's the only song from that soundtrack that was listed. It was a weird status. However, it has been off the digital music services for the most part for most of the last 13 years or so. Since early 2009, I should say, about February or March of that year, iTunes did its big DRM purge, where you stopped letting you buy the tracks that were in the DRM version, but that meant the tracks that were only available that way stopped appearing, stopped being purchasable. So that affected this song, it affected the score to the second Pokemon movie, the dub score to that. Affected a lot of different stuff, and finally we have this one back. And that actually made me recheck a few other things. It turns out a couple of other things we lost there have come back. That live version of Flying Without Wings, that's back on the DSP. We talked about that during our live Pokemon music discussion a year or two ago. And so is the Puffy Amiyumi album Splurge that has Beginnings, their song from the Japanese version of the 8th Pokemon movie. The other thing that's interesting is that a week after they posted this, so this Catch Me If You Can was posted on March 4th, and then a week later they posted one of her singles. Now, not Picture Perfect, her most famous one, but one of her other ones called I Don't Care, which is kind of interesting. In any case, so that was interesting, which means that there's a chance, I don't know, no insight on my end, but it'd be really cool if we could get Wonderland, her song from the second movie soundtrack, if that might be coming out soon. Or its Spanish version, Mundo Magico, would be really nice to have there. So that may be coming out, who knows, it could be this Friday, could be a long way off, you never know. But keep your eyes peeled on the DSPs, digital service providers, for music like iTunes and other stuff and Spotify and stuff like that. So that was an interesting surprise that I saw there. I also rechecked a few other things. It also means that actually, at least as far as the iTunes store goes, there are now a majority of the songs from the Pokemon the first movie soundtrack are on there. We went from 8 to 9. We're still missing 7 of them. And most notably, We're a Miracle and the Billy Crawford version of the Pokemon theme. They had the version from the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, but that's still not quite the same there, which is kind of disappointing. So hopefully we continue to make progress on that, but I wanted to point that out and wanted to remind you to keep your eyes peeled. Alright, so Pokecasters Network updates. Let's see. So some of the recent episodes that have been out on various feeds, we got Poke Science, The Great Sinnoh Extinction Part 2. So if you've played Pokemon Legends Arceus, you may have noticed that there are some forms of Pokemon that don't appear in games that take place later in the timeline. So yeah, the Hisuian, we don't see Hisuian, Sneasel or Sneasler anywhere else, at least as of yet, or some of the other ones there. And I guess they're talking about some of that there. They've been sort of focusing on that and think topics related to that. Critical Hitmonlee, Nesteem Gym Challenge, Theo. You may remember when I recapped Anime Milwaukee, I listed another gym challenge there. It was the same gym, but it was a different person. So that is out. Let's see, Welcome to the World of Pokemon is up to episode 84, Doduo. And then we have Not a Scratch. They're still in Arc 4, episode 13 now. World Building and Elder Thoughts is the one there. And then coming soon-ish, I hope to have this by the end of the month, but as you may know, I've been continuing to work on the stuff I have from Anime Milwaukee last month. I've got 4 of the interviews. I'm working on number 5. I think I'll have it up by the end of this week or this weekend, and then I have one more to do there. And then once I get that all done, I get to put that all together, take the audio, and put that into a podcast episode. So that's been a lot of fun. So I can't give you an exact date, and then after that, it's straight on to the Secrets of the Jungle discussion that I have to edit through. But yeah, so I am continuing to work, and I have been putting stuff out, so just so you know that. All right, well, that kind of covers our little presentation there. Not a ton of really neat stops in there. I think one of the ones I did see there's like a bridal place not too far from the movie theater that has a neat little carriage there. Unfortunately, that picture did not make it in here. I'm very sorry for that. But yeah, that was sort of the deal with that. But yeah, that's sort of what's been going on and what you can look forward to. If you have any thoughts on this community day, be sure to put those in a comment. We always appreciate that. Any other comments? Those are welcome as well. All right, folks, thanks.